our commission meeting, January 22nd, 2026. I would like to call this meeting to order, meeting number 2026-0122R.
Tonight's music selection was made by Commissioner Brody, and the song selection was Break My Stride by Matthew Wilder. At the next City Commission meeting on February 12th, Commissioner Welch will make the music selection. As we begin, we kindly ask that all mobile devices be silenced to ensure the best possible sound quality. Please speak clearly and directly into the microphone, and remember to mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Should anyone experience difficulty hearing at any time, please raise your hand and a hearing device will be provided to you. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you. Mr. Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Rydell.
Here.
Commissioner Welch.
Here.
Commissioner Brody.
Here.
Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Here.
Mayor Raley.
Here.
City Manager Rose.
Here.
City Attorney Pyburn.
Here. Thank you. I would like to ask all to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This meeting is being conducted live with a physical quorum present. The material for today's meeting is available online at coconutcreek.gov. Anyone wishing to appeal any decision made will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose may need to ensure that a verbatim recording of the proceedings is made, including the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. The archive of this meeting may be requested from the city clerk or may be heard online at coconutcreek.gov. If you haven't already, please silence your mobile devices. If you must take a phone call, please excuse yourself and step outside. Respect and proper decorum will be maintained throughout the meeting. Vocal outbursts, jeering, cheering, or applause can impair the rights of others and derail the decision-making process.
Thank you. First off, we have a presentation of the Life-Saving Commendation Award for members of the Coconut Creek Police Department and the Seminole Police Department. Chief of Police Hoffer will conduct the presentation.
Good evening, Commissioners, Vice Mayor, Mayor, City Manager, City Attorney, City Clerk. Yes, ordinarily we have one or two people getting a life-saving award. This one's special. It involves 10 officers that saved a 15-year-old troubled female. So this time I'd like to call up the following people. Come on up when I call your name, please, to the dais. Lieutenant Jarsdorfer, Sergeant Dingus, Sergeant Garvey, Officer Harley, Officer Leonard, Officer Rodriguez, Officer Rowles, Officer Salas, and from the Seminole PD, Lieutenant Woodbury and Officer Benitez, please.
Wow.
So I'll get this started. On October 18th, 2025, members of the Coconut Creek Police Department and Seminole Police Department responded to the parking lot garage of the Seminole Coconut Creek Casino. A 15-year-old female had contacted 911 and stated that she was on top of the garage and wanted to jump off to end her life. Upon arrival, Officer Rowles located the female seated on the ledge on the north side of the garage with her feet dangling over the side. He quickly started speaking with the female and attempted to establish a rapport. Officers Bustamante, Cortez, Harley, Leonard, and Morgan set up and monitored a perimeter both on the ground and rooftop levels to prevent bystanders from entering the area. Sergeant Garvey and Seminole PD Sergeant, now Lieutenant Woodbury, arrived and also started to talk with the juvenile. The juvenile expressed several times about not wanting to be there due to family issues. A records check and conversations with the juvenile's family revealed that she had previously been subject to a Baker Act evaluation and recently hospitalized. Upon arrival, Lieutenant Jarsdorf assessed the situation and requested assistance from our crisis negotiation team. Sergeant Dingus and Officer Salas later arrived on scene and also began to speak with the female. Through the course of the negotiation, the female kept leaning over the side and waving to Officer Rodriguez, who was at the ground perimeter post. When he was relieved of his post, the juvenile stated that she wanted him to come back. Officer Rodriguez then came to the rooftop and spoke with the juvenile. Sergeant Renna helped coordinate arrival of Coconut Creek Fire Rescue personnel, technical rescue personnel, and equipment to the garage rooftop. Coconut Creek Fire Rescue and technical rescue personnel began to make contingency plans should the female get closer to the edge or attempt to jump. As the incident continued, additional Coconut Creek officers from the oncoming shift arrived to assist and relieve those from earlier positions. Seminole PD Officer Benitez assisted in negotiation and at one point went to a local McDonald's and got a sandwich and water for the female to help build rapport. After eating and after multiple officers speaking with her for almost 2 hours, she agreed to step away from the ledge and come back over the wall to safety. The female was then evaluated by Fire Rescue and taken for evaluation under the Baker Act by the Seminole Police Department. Just want to say thanks to the combined actions of all our officers involved. Their efforts resulted in the safe recovery of the female, ultimately saving her life. And it was a team effort. Thank you to all of you. We appreciate you. All right? Yeah. No. Yeah, want to get there? Let's go.
Next, we have a presentation recognizing first quarter employee milestone anniversaries for fiscal year 2026. Our HR Director, Pam Kershaw, will make the presentations.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. It's my honor to recognize a group of employees who reached milestone years of service with the city during the past quarter, and most of them are here tonight. So when I say your name, if you would please stand up or hold up your sign so we can recognize you, please. We had one employee celebrating 5 years of service, our senior fitness specialist, Alexis Rivera. She's actually teaching a class right now, so she really is, so she couldn't be here. We have 4 employees celebrating 10 years of service, and I believe they're all here. I need my glasses. Whew. All right. We have our senior fire inspector, Stevenson Jean Lewis. We have our police administrative specialist, Katie Diaz. Police officer, Liz Ramos. And utility service worker 3, Brandon Pinkney. We have one employee celebrating 20 years of service, utilities and engineering lead worker, Reggie Crockett. We have 4 employees celebrating 25 years of service, police sergeant, Jim Dingus. Police officer Mike Leonard. Police lieutenant, and he couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, Dan Nordelus. And police lieutenant Kevin Valade. And we have one employee celebrating not 25 years, not 30 years, 35 years of service. Carol Ann Papa. Carol Ann, are you our longest employee now that Eric retired? Do you know? You are? Carol Ann is now our longest serving employee. If you all would come up with your signs for a group photo, that would be awesome. And thank you all for your years of service. Ready? Thank you.
Mike, can you make it full screen, please?
What? Okay, next, we have a presentation by the City Manager, Sheila Rose, providing an overview of the state's legislature's ongoing discussion of property tax reform. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. I promise to be extremely brief, and this is clearly a topic that we're going to be talking about for the next many, many weeks and as we get into the budget process. But I thought it was appropriate that we share with you and the public just an overview of our current property tax environment. So for the purposes of understanding where we are and how the property tax and the millage rate creates our revenues, the majority of our values are in either like half, for instance, are in homesteaded properties, and the other half are in non-homesteaded properties. What you'll see from this graphic is that approximately 80% of the value for our ad valorem taxes is in residential. And that's that $5 billion that you see at the top. The ad valorem taxes currently make up about $43 million, or 43% of our operating budget. The other fees, franchise fees, licenses, permits, make up the remainder. So you see it's the biggest chunk. This graphic shows you how those funds are distributed amongst the various departments, and you'll see clearly the two biggest areas where we spend money are with both police and fire. This is critical because all of the legislation that's being discussed in Tallahassee limits your ability to amend budgets, at least for police and potentially for any first responder, which would be both police and fire, which makes up over 50% of our budget. This just gives you a snapshot of the bills that have been bounced around. And the reason I show this to you is not to get into the details of each of the various bills, but to show you that it's interesting that only one bill has been discussed by the Senate. It's been a bunch of stuff thrown up against the wall by the House. All of the bills that are being discussed by the House have potentially significant impacts on our budget. But clearly it takes both the House and the Senate to come to an agreement on a bill. So we don't really know where it will land. If we're following what the House is doing, it could be very, very significant. We're waiting to see what the Senate has to say, and clearly the governor is pushing this message. If you look here, this is the impact of the proposed bill as currently written of House Bill 201. Which would be potentially a $15 or $16 million loss to our budget. And 201 is one of the bills that is ready to go to the House floor. It's been through the committees. And this is House Bill 203. Again, a very, very significant impact on our budget. This is the proposed bill that was discussed today with the concept that it be that the ad valorem taxes on homesteaded properties be phased out over 10 years. But with the average price or value of a home in Coconut Creek, it's really 1 or 2 years in our case. So the big hit would happen in year 1, the second big hit would happen in year 2, and of course the third year would be the end of it. House Bill 209 is the other bill that is ready to go to the House floor. It's been through the committees, and it significant impact on our budget, approximately $12 million. So these are the 3 bills that are making their way through the House and are prepared for conversation.
That's police and fire, correct? It's just in police.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The exemption in this bill is only for police, and there are discussions of adding first responders, changing that, right? Okay. The options to mitigate this are clearly, to implement cost containment measures, to reduce or defer certain initiatives and programs and projects, to consider a millage rate increase. I promised I wouldn't do that again, but to evaluate increases to our fire protection services and the assessment, and to update city user fees or charges. Clearly, the possible unintended consequences are many. These are the things that we'll be talking about, as the legislation winds its way through the process. Most of us will be in Tallahassee next week, and hopefully we'll come back with more information on where these bills will land. But I bring this to your attention just so you know we're thinking about the unintended consequences. We're educating our staff to make sure they're aware of it, and we're hoping that they will also educate their families. So really, I wanted to make that super, super brief. Peter Gay is here. If you have specific questions, if you want to get into more detail, clearly we will be talking about this at our budget workshop, and we'll get more information. And we're getting more information every day. In fact, I watched the hearing today on 209 or 203.
Just
Thank you.
one request. Can we get a copy of these slides to take us up to Tallahassee with us?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know.
You got them right here.
No, that's the thing. I don't feel the
I'm
love,
passing
is
it
what
down.
I'm saying right
Passing it
now.
down. Passing it down. And if you like, we can also. Oh, there you go. Certainly, I can take questions, or we can move on. It's just meant to be information. We're following it every single day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will now have input from the public on non-agenda or consent agenda items. I remind everyone wishing to speak that all comments must pertain to city business. Respect and proper decorum will be maintained. Behavior that disrupts the orderly conduct of this meeting, such as clapping, shouting, booing, and cheering, is not permitted. Any person who violates the decorum rules will be subject to removal from the commission chambers. As a reminder, all comments must pertain to city business. City Clerk Kavanaugh, is there anyone who is signed in to speak on non-agenda or consent agenda items?
Yes, Mayor, we have 3 individuals that signed up to speak this evening. The first individual is Philippa Sklar.
Good evening. I'm here tonight about public integrity and whether the rules apply to the Mayor of Coconut Creek. The Mayor submitted sworn affidavits to the Broward State Attorney accusing a private citizen of stalking. Based on those statements, criminal charges were filed. They were later dismissed, and the affidavits were described as boilerplate. The police department declined to investigate. The city approved an investigation, but specifically excluded Winmore. Think about that. The one place where the mayor holds direct control and benefits from her actions was declared off limits. The one place where scrutiny actually matters most. And when we are told that's just a private Winmore matter, let's be clear. It isn't. When the mayor acts there, it intersects with her public office and public trust. Calling it private isn't oversight. It's willful blindness. At a public meeting, the mayor then contradicted her own sworn allegations and admitted the man did not stalk her. I have a short clip.
Because I was stalking you when I was in Canada. I took flights every night. No, you weren't stalking me.
That contradiction matters. Those affidavits triggered criminal charges against an innocent man who paid in legal cost and reputation. This same pattern shows up again at Winmore. As condo president, the mayor pushed through $1,000 fines against 3 homeowners under an unlawful rule, including that same man. No evidence, no documentation, no independent review. First vote, guilt assumed, hearing later. That isn't due process, it's a kangaroo court. When the verdict comes before the hearing, it's not enforcement, it's retaliation with a rubber stamp. So call it for what it is, a pattern. Sworn allegations that collapse. Investigations restricted. Residents punished without proof. Different settings, same outcome. That's not coincidence. It's abuse of authority. So my questions are simple. What action will the city take? Will the police investigate? And will Winmore be included instead of shielded by the private matter excuse? Accountability can't stop at the mayor's door. If it does, oversight is just cover. When the mayor's actions are off limits and residents face kangaroo courts, accountability isn't missing. It's been cancelled. Thank you.
Mr. Kavanaugh, is there anyone else?
Yes, the next individual that signed up to speak this evening is Joe Wade.
Thank you.
Good evening. Your mayor alleged that I stalked her during an 8-month period. The 8-month period that I stalked her, I was out of the country. The mayor abused her position to make these phony allegations and cause criminal charges against me with the intent to keep me out of the country and by default have Philippa leave the country. The net result, as you know, the charges were dropped before even hitting the court. I asked an officer what he would do if I had him to have him lay criminal charges, and I would tell him later on that I lied to him. What did he say? I'd arrest you. Let me ask you, are there different standards applied to certain people? I thought everyone is treated equally in the eyes of the law. Now that you know this mayor misrepresented fact and caused me financial harm and tried to basically assassinate my character, Police Chief Hoffer, you're here. Are you going to open a file and investigate or try to sweep this again under the rug? Are you going to ask her to expunge the file? How long will this commission run interference to protect their own? In case you hear, by the way, tonight that all investigations against Winmore and this mayor have been dropped, which she's been telling everybody, I'm just letting you know it is not true. Thank you.
Mr. Kavanaugh, is there anyone else?
Yes, the last individual that signed up to speak this evening is Edwin Napoleone.
Mr. Kavanaugh, Mr. Napoleone declines to speak. Is there anyone else?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. There is no one else that wishes to speak. I will close public hearing, public speaking. Thank you. We will now move on to the consent agenda, 4 through 9. Number 4, a motion approving the minutes from previous City Commission meetings, 2025-1211R. Number 5, a motion to reject RFP numbers 11-12-25-11 and the response received for printing binding, mailing, and delivery services for the city's year in review publication and the popular annual financial report. Number 6, Resolution 2026-002, a resolution declaring certain city-owned property as surplus and authorizing the city manager or designee to dispose of said property as described in the attached list. Number 7, Resolution 2025-012, a resolution establishing an administrative process for the classification, disposition, and reporting of city vehicles and equipment declared total losses for insurance purposes. Number 8, a resolution 2026-010, a resolution authorizing the city manager or designee to execute the attached mutual aid agreement renewal for law enforcement services with the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Number 9, Resolution 2026-003, a resolution authorizing the city manager or designee to execute the reinstatement and First Amendment to the agreement with Broward County for funding and administration of fiscal years 2020-2024, CARES Act Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG-CV, and Community Development Block Grant Program, CDBG funds. Are there any items the Commission wishes to pull from the consent agenda? Yes, Commissioner Welch.
5 and 7, please.
Oh,
5 and 7?
I'm a 5 too.
Okay.
Can I
Good,
hear
'cause I
a
have a
third?
Thank you. Is there a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items 4, 6, 8, and 9?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Okay. Now, the items that are pulled, is there a...
And I might...
No, go
I
ahead.
guess, Peter Gay, we actually have a clarification on item number 5, so I was glad you pulled
Okay.
it.
Got to vote on consent.
Good.
Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Kavanaugh, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rydell?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Brody?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman?
Yes.
Mayor Rayleigh?
Yes.
Pardon? Okay. All right.
Peter Gay, please.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. This item is a motion to reject the RFP for printing, binding, mailing, and delivery services for the city's year in review and popular annual financial report. We only received one proposal under this, and it came in at a cost of $123,000. So it was $80,000 for the year in review, and then another $42,000 for the popular annual financial report. So the selection committee reviewed the one response, but after evaluating everything and comparing it to the current prices that we're paying, a decision was made to reject the submittal for this RFP. Historic cost shows that we currently pay about $51,000 for both reports. So going from $51,000 to $123,000 was a large increase. What we found out was based on the market for production and printing, vendors can't lock in prices. So we had gone out for the RFP to try to get a contract where we could lock in the price. And unfortunately, you know, that didn't work out. We got one submittal that came in extremely high. It's actually over twice the budget that we have for those two items. So what we're going to do is resort back to what we have been doing for the past few years. And whenever we're ready for production for these publications, then we'll actually issue informal quotes. We'll send that out and get the quotes back and then make a determination based on the pricing at that point.
And I would like to make a clarification. I did send out information in the Wednesday report as well as a direct communication to Commissioner Welch, which referenced the $80,000 number, but it was actually short the cost of the PAFRA publication. So I was actually had it on my list to ask you to pull it. So
I know are we required to mail? I'm not saying I want to discontinue it. I'm just saying, are we required to mail it? The year in review, of course, but I mean the PAFRA?
No, we're not required to mail it.
Okay.
The PAFRA The year in review, we're not required to mail, but the PAFR, I believe we are.
We're not required to mail it. It does, we will still get the award if we don't mail the PAFR, but we can have an electronic copy, and we can have maybe printed copies at City Hall that people can get a hard copy, but we're not required to mail it. It just helps with our distribution when we say that we send it to every resident and, you know, that they have access to it, but no, it's not a requirement.
And you're talking about the PAFR?
The PAFR, correct.
Okay. I mean, I love it. I never have anybody say anything about it, but, I mean, I carry a copy with me. I love it, but I was just asking.
Thank you.
And thank you for the clarification. I just wanted to know the current costs, and you took care
You're
of
welcome.
that.
Thank
Approximately how many copies do we mail out?
For the PAFR, I don't know if it's like 27,000 or something like that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You said that was how much money for the PAFRs? It was like 40,000, you said?
But the submittal came in at 42,000, where the last time when we quoted it out, we paid 22,000.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, my only question was obviously with bulk mail rates, what, and again, support it. I'm just curious, the mailing that we requested, I'm reading the item, over 100 and something submittals go out for RFPs. There is more mail houses than I know what to do with, that I was kind of shocked that we were rejecting a bid and we had not those responses. So I'm just, is this from qualified vendors, or is it, I'm just wondering where we're creating that list that we're offering people, because this to me is like a really easy thing to get, you know, but that's political mail world. I don't mean political mail world, but there's mail houses that, you know, offer rates. I was just curious, what was the subsect that we sent this to?
Right. So we pull from two places. We pull from our eBid system, where we have potential vendors go and they register, and then they choose the commodities that they provide. So they would go and say, I'm a business that provide printing services. We also pulled from when we submit the informal quotes. We made sure those vendors got a copy of the request. Also, we reached out to them to make sure we had their information so that they would have an opportunity to submit for the RFP.
I bring that up only because I know for a fact, right, that we have 2 mail houses in the city in Lions Tech Park that like do this. So I don't know if they know about it, but I'm happy to. Obviously, it needs to be an open and fair process. But you know, we have vendors with printing machines in Lions Tech as we speak. So that's my only.
Is there any way we can do it in-house?
It would be difficult to do that.
I support rejecting the item, and I trust staff to find the right vendor.
All right, thank you. Yes, it would be difficult to do all of that in-house.
Thank you. Okay, any further questions? Okay. And number 7? You have a question on? Oh, we have to call the vote on, I'm sorry. Okay, do we have a motion for number 5?
Move it.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Kavanaugh, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Rydell?
Yes.
Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Brody?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman?
Yes.
Mayor Raley?
Yes. Okay, number 7, Resolution 2026-012.
All right, so
Yes.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, everyone, good evening again. So this resolution establishes an administrative process for the disposition of city vehicles and equipment that have been declared total losses by the city's insurance carrier. So the way our policy is worded right now, we would have to present those items to the commission first, get approval before we can actually submit all the insurance paperwork. So what this process is doing is streamlining it for us, because if the vehicles are total losses and declared a total loss by the insurance company, there isn't much that we can do at that point with it. So we're just requesting permission administratively to dispose of those at the time, because the issues we're running into, it delays the process to get reimbursed from the insurance provider. We also have to store those vehicles on our premises until we can run it through the normal surplus process. So this is just to allow us to be more proactive in moving those along. And then what we would do is follow up with a report at the next surplus meeting, so you can get the full picture, and there'll be transparency in what vehicles were totaled and disposed of.
So we'll still get the list of surplus items or vehicles, but those that are considered total losses will be exempt from coming before us before they can be disposed. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Okay. Mr. Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll? Do we have, we need a motion and a second on 7,
Second.
please. Thank you. We have a second by Commissioner Brody. Mr. Kavanaugh, please call the roll.
Commissioner
Yes.
Rendell? Commissioner Welch?
Yes.
Commissioner Brody?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman?
Yes.
Mayor Riley?
Yes. Okay, I'm moving on to regular agenda resolution 2026-011, a resolution authorizing the city manager or designee to execute Amendment Number 2 to the agreement with Vector Fleet Management, LLC, for fleet management and maintenance services to provide for the addition of 10 fire-heavy vehicles. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Vice Mayor Wasserman. Thank
Good
you.
evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. Back in 2018, the city contracted with Vector Fleet Management, and in 2021, there was the first amendment to our contract, which included adding the fire administration vehicles, 7 of them from our newly formed fire department. This second amendment here is basically providing a few additional things for us. We are asking to add the city's 10 heavy-duty fire apparatus equipment trucks to the fleet management program. And in exchange for that, we would get a new emergency management technician hired by Vector, which would provide, all in-house maintenance and repairs for our equipment. Secondly, there's a minor adjustment to the renewal term, bringing it in line with the billing cycle for us, which brings it to the end of October for this year, so that moving forward, all the paperwork is clean. Currently, this amendment will cost $250,540, which includes the salary for the new EMT technician, as well as all the anticipated maintenance and repair costs. Additionally, the city, as a one-time cost, will need to purchase specialized lifts and certain tools so that the technician is able to work on these vehicles. That's in the amount of $95,000. Both of these costs have been approved in the current FY26 budget. As a reference, the city prior was budgeting $175,000 per year to handle these type of repairs, and this was done through a private company called 10-8, who happens to be the only company in Broward that is authorized to do repairs on the fire apparatus equipment that's on these trucks. And basically, what brought us here is tremendous frustration from the fire department, excessive delays, and I have Chief Rodriguez here to give you a few examples of what they've been dealing with so that you understand.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioners. Thank you for letting me speak. We've been working hand in hand with PW on this endeavor and feel it's pretty critical to our mission because you deserve it. The city deserves it. The number one reason we find this in-house fleet to be considered is for our critical reliability and response readiness. We currently do contract with 10-8, which is in Pompano Beach. So our men and women, when a truck needs to be serviced, leave the city. It doesn't create the response readiness we'd like to have, as opposed to swapping out a vehicle at PW and staying in service faster and in the city of Coconut Creek. We feel that this in-house fleet would reduce our downtime and create faster repairs, but most importantly, I think, is to try to start to steer away from the norm. And we were having this conversation earlier that the industry standard right now for a fire truck is to stay as a frontline fire truck for 10 years and a reserve for 5. A rescue truck or ambulance in service as a frontline for 5 and a reserve for 5. But I think with what City Manager Rose presented and the uncertainty of finances, we may need to start thinking outside the box. And having an in-house fleet, repairs and services can help us prepare to potentially extend the life cycle of these trucks. They're getting more expensive. The lead time and build process is getting longer. So the bottom line is our trucks need more love. They need more frequent love, and they can't be put on the back burner for, what's essentially all of Broward and Miami-Dade, when something as simple as a 1-hour repair can get that truck back in service for the community. So as the fire administration, we stand behind this, and we hope you really consider moving forward with it, because I think it's going to benefit the city of Coconut Creek and its residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rydell.
Yeah, Chief, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions real quick, because that really is what I know where their facility is located in Pompano. I drive by. It's like always chock full.
Yes, sir.
Of apparatus. So you really did just speak to the question I had regarding this contract, not, more so this streamlines the process. So one of our apparatus isn't going to be sitting there. What I see is I don't want to say like a graveyard, but some of those vehicles are there a long time.
Yes, sir. And unfortunately, when we need something simple or simply preventative maintenance on our apparatus, rightfully so, those apparatus that are there that need a more extended repair kind of put us on the back burner.
So what I'm hearing from you is this is going to streamline that process so we're able to keep our fleet in current function for shorter downtime.
Our fleet and personnel, sir, yes.
Okay, so I guess my second question is, do you enjoy coming to commission meetings?
Do I enjoy coming?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this something you want to be doing on a more regular basis?
Time will tell. No, I do enjoy it. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Anyone else? Yes. Yes, Commissioner Brody.
All right, so I have some questions. When we start talking about bringing in-house technicians, the question always is sustainability. So is there enough work? Are we talking about, is there enough work with this truck, with the maintenance and the issues you have, to keep a single technician busy 40 hours a week, 4 days a week, whatever our work shifts are?
I had that very conversation with, fleet personnel, and this individual who's going to be hired is, if they're not working on fire apparatus, they'll be handling all the overflow and additional stuff for, the city's maintenance.
Okay, because my question is, if we can't, then would the question really be, is it a 1099 versus W-2? So do we do a consulting thing to have them come in, just work on the fire trucks and then cut them loose, or are we bringing them in as a W-2, as an employee? And then the follow-up question to that is, these trucks are big, and I work on my Jeep, and those parts are heavy, and that's a Jeep. So is one technician going to be enough to move the parts? So if he's working on a transmission or a hub, or even the tires on these trucks, some of these things are a two-man lift. So is it a one-guy thing, and then we're going to borrow from fleet to help them out? So how is that going to work?
So the only person that can work on these vehicles has to have that certification I mentioned before. There's other fleet personnel that if, there's stuff such as lifting or, additional help, they'll be there to assist. But primarily it will be the one individual, and there's, in our opinion, enough work to keep them quite busy. And like I said, if there's any backlog or any drop-off, they are going to assist. That was part of their agreement. And this is Vector that's hiring this technician. It's their employee, so it's... Oh, so it is a 1099 basis. It's a consultant. You're hiring somebody outside to come in. He's not going to be a Coconut Creek employee. Correct. It's going to be a Vector employee that's certified to work on these vehicles. Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
And just one final question, just to be clear, the $95,000 for the additional equipment to repair these vehicles that we need so badly back out on the road, if Vector goes away as our contractor, what happens with that equipment? Does it go with them, or does it stay with us?
Belongs to us.
This will become our equipment, city equipment, and would stay with us in the event that Vector, is no longer servicing us.
I did know
Including
that. I
the
just
tools.
wanted to make sure it was on the record that we're
Yes.
spending money that's going to stay here.
It's
Okay.
staying right here in Coconut Creek.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? All right, thank you. Mr. Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner
Yes.
Rydell. Commissioner Welch.
Yes.
Commissioner Brody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Yes.
Mayor Raley.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-008. A resolution approving the Crescent Creek Homeowners Association application for grant funds from the Neighborhood Enhancement Grant Program for a multi-phase landscape design project to redesign the street tree landscape master plan. Is there a motion and a second to approve this item?
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Rydell, moved by Commissioner Welch. Okay. Are there any questions regarding this grant? Is there anyone present to receive this grant?
That's what I was going to ask, if there was anybody from the HOA here.
No, I guess not. All right. Mr. Kavanaugh, would you please call the roll?
I don't know.
What?
Mayor, if I may, I didn't.
Sure.
I see two gentlemen that
Justin
one of them wore a jacket,
or Dan, did you want to
and I'd
make a
inquire if he has
presentation?
anything to put forward.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice
Good
Mayor,
evening.
city
Good
members of
evening.
the Commission, Dan Nelson, Grants Administrator, City of Coconut Creek. Of course, this resolution is for the Crescent Creek Neighborhood Enhancement Grant. This is they're asking for $20,000 for a multi-phase design project. The current landscape plan in the neighborhood no longer compatible with the surrounding areas. This project will redesign the landscape plan. Total cost of the project is $22,800. This project is eligible and satisfies the requirements of the program guidelines. Happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
I will just say on behalf of the association, if I may, Sheila and myself met with board members. Linda was in that meeting. We had a pre-meeting on, and I know they were putting this together. I know there's been issues in the neighborhood and regarding not only their original landscape plan, but on some of the swales in front of the homes. It's in the north end of the city. I don't see anyone. I know, it appears there was a change in board leadership, but I can tell the commission, regardless if anyone's here this evening, this has been something in the works for over a year, and I think it's one of the only the second actual master landscape plan that we've approved as a commission for the landscape grants. I know Mr. Valvo's community is coming forward with one as well, but yeah, I fully support this item, and the neighborhood supports this item.
Thank you. Anyone else?
No, I mean, when I was knocking on doors there, that was one of the biggest things that residents brought up was, that something could and should be done. So it's just very encouraging to see that they followed through and with the guidance of our grants administrator.
They did the work.
Yeah. It's good to see that they can take advantage of what we're offering. Okay. Mr. Kavanaugh, please call the roll.
Commissioner
Yes.
Rydell. Commissioner Welch.
Yes.
Commissioner Brody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Yes.
Mayor Raley.
Yes. Resolution 2026-009, a resolution approving the Victoria Isle Homeowners Association application for grant funds from the Neighborhood Enhancement Grant Program for a multi-phase landscape design project to redesign the landscape master plan. Is there a motion and a second?
Move it.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Vice Mayor Wasserman. Dan Nelson.
Again, Dan Nelson, Grants Administrator. Very similar to the last grant. This is a multi-phase design project. Association is requesting $20,000. The total cost of this project is $20,000. This is for all of the areas in the common area in Victoria Isles. Again, the growth habits, size, no longer compatible with the surrounding areas. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Commissioner Rydell.
The president of the neighborhood's a first responder, so I don't know if he's here this evening, but I don't see him, but I know he's a firefighter, so I don't know if that's why he's not here. I do have a question for Dan, because I've spoke to Sheila about this, and this is an interesting nuance issue for the future of neighborhood enhancement grants. Are we doing this as Isles as a whole? So you see where I'm going with this, Dan. I already know you know where I'm going with this, but Isles as a whole, right?
Yes, this is the Master Association of Victoria Isles.
So I guess the question I have, and it goes back to, because we could agree there's different neighborhoods of Victoria Isles, and then there's the master. And this is really a policy decision that, while I agree with this item, the association brought up a really interesting point with it, and I'll toss it to all of you. When you have a neighborhood that has 3 phases, 3 neighborhoods to it, can they apply for 1, 2, 3 neighborhood enhancement grants, or are they locked into you get one shot? Now, I know staff worked with the president on this, and they're doing it as a master association, but I guess my question that I just kind of want on the record is, does this now limit one of the subs to do a neighborhood enhancement grant? I just wanted that formalized, because I know that was like a back and forth policy. I don't know with you guys, I was talking to Sheila about it, and just philosophically speaking, when you have a neighbor, like very much in Winmore, Jacks, like the neighborhoods are all doing it, but then could WCC as a whole come? My position should be yes. I just want to confirm that that's the policy that we're going forward on these neighborhoods that have the master area, as opposed to, and then they can come back again. They're not kicked off for the 24 months.
That's the current policy.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Every organization applies individually. You can apply together as one, but to answer your question, yes, each one is an individual organization and submits their own applications. So Victoria Isles Master is not going to disqualify the landings.
That's what I wanted. Question. That's what I wanted to get at. And then my follow-up. Who said that? Which one of you?
You want to fight?
No, I just, the subtle comments under your breath. I don't really appreciate it, that's all. I have nothing further right now.
Commissioner Welsh.
Because I understood that this was for because we had something come before us recently for the townhomes. And I thought this was for the single-family homes. Is it inclusive? I know Commissioner Rydell said that it's for the master. So is it for the single-family homes alone, or is it inclusive of the townhomes too?
So like Commissioner Rydell proposed, there's 3 actual communities. There's 2 actual communities and 1 master association, which controls the common areas of the property. So
of all of it?
Correct.
Okay.
So yes, in December, there was a commission meeting for the landings, which is the townhome part component neighborhood of the master association.
Okay. So it's separate and apart?
It is separate. It is primarily the entranceway to Victoria Isles.
And they're getting a real bang for their buck.
Okay. Commissioner Brody.
So when you say that, like in Winston Park, we have a unique situation where you got Breckenridge 2 under Winston Park. So is it Winston Park that's going to control, or can the Breckenridge name file?
Is Breckenridge its own HOA?
No, it's its own neighborhood. That's why I want clarification.
So neighborhood associations can apply too. They're eligible as well.
So I don't want to jump in, and I don't like it, but this is something that I had worked on. So I'm not trying to. I don't want to go there. It predates it. So when Winston Park had this vision of redoing all the walls, I'm assuming that's what you're getting at. Is that where you're going? When the walls under their master, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, their master plan walls are all under the Winston Park Master Association control. So Wayne, call it what it is, he was really hoping that he could bang each as a grant. You want to?
Yeah, absolutely. And we had conversations with Winston Park Foundation regarding the walls and broke down specifically what they could apply for. So, for example, if Bermuda Cove has its own association and its own signs, it could apply for a neighborhood enhancement sign project. Separately, Winston Park Foundation could apply for a neighborhood enhancement grant sign project. We gave them applications, walked them through, went over the details for both of those projects. And
so
anybody that inquires.
That are included and certain that aren't.
But there is also a neighborhood association, a neighborhood on the west side of the road that does not have an association, and I'm afraid that's the one you're referring to. Is it Breckenridge? Right. That does not have an association.
Yeah. It's like a neighborhood. So I jumped through these hoops all post. That project's 5 years in the making, but that was the issue with that.
So you need to have an associate, separate associations can apply as well as the master association. That's the bottom line.
That's the policy that needed to be clear, because originally Victoria Isles was told no, and I'm not trying to, it's not, no, we didn't hash it out. So now we've hashed it out and the independents can do it. I'm good with that.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Okay. Mr. Kavanaugh, please call the roll.
Commissioner
Yes.
Rendell. Commissioner Welch.
Yes.
Commissioner Brody.
Come on with this dramatic silence.
Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Yes.
Mayor Raley.
Yes. Resolution 2026-013, a resolution authorizing the city manager or designee to execute an agreement with the Broward County tax collector for the uniform collection of non-ad valorem special assessments pursuant to sections 197.3631-197.3635 Florida statutes. Is there a motion and a second?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Welch, seconded by Vice Mayor Wasserman.
All right,
Yes,
Mayor.
sir. Thank
Vice-
you.
Thank
Peter
you.
Gay.
Good evening again. So this item allows the city to continue to include the fire protection services and the solid waste special assessments on the trim notice, and it continues to allow us to have the Broward County tax collector bill and collect for those assessments using what we call the statutory uniform method of collection, which by far remains the most economical and efficient option for the city for us to bill and collect those proceeds. Historically, the service was provided under an agreement we have with Broward County, but effective in January of 25, the tax collector transitioned to a separate elected constitutional office, so it now requires municipalities to enter into direct agreements with the tax collector to continue the process without any service interruption. Under the agreement with Broward County, reimbursement charges were minimal and as such was not specifically budgeted. This agreement does authorize reimbursement of actual costs, which is going to be capped at 2% of our collection. Charges to date have averaged less than that 2%. It's about approximately 1%. And so far we have been charged $150,000. So staff will work to identify available budget for the current year so that we can make those payments, and then we'll account for the budget in future years. So approving this agreement ensures that we continue to ensure compliance with state statute and that we maintain the continuity of how these assessments are actually billed and collected. So staff does recommend approval to ensure uninterrupted collections, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Anyone? Okay, I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there a motion and a second?
Move it.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Welch. Vice Mayor Wasserman, seconds. Mr. Kavanaugh, please call the roll.
Commissioner Rendell.
Yes.
Commissioner Welch.
Yes.
Commissioner Brody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. City Manager's report, please.
Just two things very briefly. I look forward to working with you all during Broward Days next week. We will be following whatever's happening. There'll be a lot of furious communication going on and probably running from meeting to meeting. But let me know if you need anything. I'll be there, but I'll still be working, but Scott will also be here in the office. I was also hoping to schedule just another get-together, maybe a night of pickleball, so look for your calendars, and we'll try to do that soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam City Attorney.
Good evening. I just wanted to mention that our attorney in the Turnpike case, Ralph DeMeo, who was formerly with Gilday Law, has switched to a new firm of Adams and Reese, and we did just sign the substitution of counsel letters with him, and we also have some more parties that are interested in being named as plaintiffs in the lawsuit, and so we're hoping to get with them soon in the next week or two and to hopefully get them added. And I will keep you updated as this progresses. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rydell.
Yeah, two brief things. I believe all of you are going to be there except me, right? You going? Yeah. Okay. I only say that because I'll be up the following, and I know Bernadette knows this, I'm going to be up in the end of the last week in February, obviously advocating as well. Madam Rose, I think it's important on an administrative level to the city staff that you relay, and I think this is understood, but I think it's important to let the city, the employees know that this commission is unified in fighting against this reform for the purpose of protecting what we have here. So I would just like that sentiment relayed to, I think there's reverberations, especially whether I'm glib or anything. I think staff needs to be well aware that this commission is a unified body, is doing everything they can to protect the city of Coconut Creek, and I'd ask you to relay that to our employees.
I appreciate that.
I will give you some weird, bad news. Commissioner Welsh is probably aware of it. I'm just going to give a quick solid waste update. The executive director of the Solid Waste Authority, who was hired and brought over from California, resigned immediately, effective immediately. Now, it is due to like an extreme personal medical situation with his family. You can't, obviously, family first. I think we would all agree to that. But it sends hard reverberations through the next 3 months, which is going to be crucial to delivering education when this is going to be coming before. Luckily, there's, Mayor Ryan is a strong leader. He's a strong advocate countywide, and there's just going to be probably more of an ask from some of the executive board members of going to various commissions. Now, I will tell you this. I think the last time I was here, I gave kind of a bleak picture on some of the preliminary numbers that were put out of what continued engagement in the Solid Waste Authority looks like. There was really positive numbers that came out of the consultant's final report, where they believe the initial addition to essentially continuing to be a member of the Solid Waste Authority would be preliminarily $3.75 per household per year. That's what we're talking about for continued, and what they believe is it may go up to an additional $10 over a phased 5 to 10 year approach, but the savings would negate that out of the gate. So, and that's through joint contracts. Now, the reason for that is they pared back all potential assets, meaning how the Solid Waste Authority was originally thought of and formed was that there would be Solid Waste Authority assets, whether it's transfer stations, whether it's recycling centers. So now that's just looking at it like contracting with Broward County assets and private assets for the purposes of bulk contracting for better rates. I think there's a quagmire there, because I think if you rely too much on private industry, they're going to kind of have you after that initial contract period's up, which is when you have no market share. A monopoly really runs the roost. And ultimately, Waste Management is going to have the largest contract for a recycling center, so you worry about what happens after a 10-year contract. I only share with you that you're going to see, I'm going to have a meeting, I think, with Sheila and Yvonne next week in regard to the PIO rollout, which ideally you're going to start seeing some pretty significant social media out things with the things I've shared with all of you, the toolbox. I just think it's important that we really start having those conversations, because it's not the sexiest subject, but it's probably one of the most important for the future of our community and cost savings in our community. So there's other things I could discuss, but I just want to leave you with that, with solid waste. And we're really getting a lot of steam for the Holocaust sculpture countywide. Really, there's a lot of just amazing feedback with that. And I didn't realize how long it's been since something like that has been unveiled in Broward County. So it's really just a very, very exciting thing that I'm excited to be a part of. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Welsh.
So, Commissioner Rydell, about the last SWA joint meeting, it was assets not just in land and potential waste to energy facilities or whatever it might turn into that allowed the number to be so significantly lower. And I wasn't in the room, I was dialed in, but I have to tell you, it was almost like a gasp across, you could hear it across the executive board that was there. I don't know, is that what it looked like because you were there in person?
Yeah, I think all of us had the number. I just don't understand how the consultant got there. But when he was able to present, he heard that the consultant team heard that how they had it posed probably would not pass.
Absolutely.
And they created a measure to create a sustainable system and be able to successfully move forward. So you are there was,
Yeah.
especially with some of the governing board members that were there that aren't in the process. They were all like, "Wow."
They were. It was. They were all very scared
disbelief,
and
maybe.
wanted to run. So yeah, it was good news. I almost wondered, was it real or not? But it was. I still don't understand who's going to be at the helm. That's the part that I'm not sure about. The executive director. Because I had to sign off at 11, and it was still going back and forth. Who's going to be there?
It's going to be addressed formally. So right now, just to answer that question publicly, the consultant team at SCS, who's really been spearheading the team, they're going to take the helm because Todd is physically gone in a transition, and then we're going to be figuring that out pretty quickly. I don't want to say anything publicly, but there's rumblings of people that want that job. I'll leave it at that, but it's really important who gets that job next.
Absolutely. It was important who got it this time. So anyway, thank you for that. I'm looking forward to going. I'm not looking forward to the 20 or 30 degree weather in Tallahassee, but I am certainly looking forward to it because it won't just be watching the committee meetings on Florida Channel, but actually, being there. And I'm hoping that those legislators that I asked to meet with, I do get a chance to go in because there's things that each one of them are sponsoring that I'm very interested in, even if they aren't sponsoring them, items that I feel are important to our residents that I'd like to ask their views on. And if opportunity allows, once the agenda is out there, to be able to go into some of those meetings and, like Rep. Panchowski suggested, that you can either, sign up to waive in support or opposition, so that you can make your presence matter for something. Even, you can't stay at all the committee meetings, but I'm really looking forward to it. Just not the weather. But we'll be back for the Holocaust and all of the things that have been significantly planned here in the city. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Brody.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a safety concern. Chief, can I have you come up? And I don't mean to catch you off guard. I normally don't do this, but I think there's some concerns with some traffic issues. And I wouldn't have brought this up, but literally I got off the phone before this meeting and pretty much 3 phone calls today. And let's put it this way, my trip to Publix was horrible this week. And the concern is this: there's been a tremendous amount of speeding and noise from modified mufflers, which I know there's a law against, going up and down Lyons Road and Winston Park Boulevard, which is why I guess everybody's turning to me and asking these questions. And I do live close enough to Lyons Road to hear them screaming down Lyons Road. And I think that between Winston Park Boulevard all the way through Sample is a racetrack. There's no visibility to any police out there. There's no traffic at night, so these guys scream up and down there with motorcycles and modified, these little Hondas that they modify and things like that. I think what I want to kind of bring up is how can we kind of put a kibosh on that, because at some point there's going to be a tremendous accident. I mean, these speeds, we're not talking, 55 and a 45. We're talking 80, 90 miles an hour up and down Lyons Road, and Winston Park is the motorcycles doing donuts and things like that. So is there a plan that we can kind of put in place to kind of deter this from happening?
Yeah, we were just in the process of going through and getting the grants for the aggressive driving. So that'll be to fund the overtime or to schedule people to work in the evenings to address those issues in those areas. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Listen, it's gotten worse in the last 2 months. And
okay.
Winston Park scares me because it's got that bend in it, and people walking down that, and so it got a little long Publix trip. Ice cream melted twice. Listening to everybody out, and so it's important that we really kind of take this serious, because I think at some point we're going to see another serious accident on that road. So if we can kind of step up, maybe get some visibility out there,
absolutely,
especially between the hours of 9:45 and 10:40. That seems to be something going on at that time.
Okay.
And then like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Got it. We're on it. Absolutely.
That's all I have. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Wasserman.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there just a couple things. Is there any update, and maybe this is for Justin or Scott, on the storage facility behind Sprouts? Is everything going to plan? Has anything come up? Anything, just an update maybe?
Oh, well, it's under construction. I'm not aware of any issues they're having. It's going pretty steadily well, and they're containing themselves to their site from what I see. I go to Sprouts all the time, so I kind of drive by these sites when they're under construction.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yep.
And Gray Star, same. I know there hasn't been many complaints. I know I talked to Scott yesterday briefly in passing. I haven't gotten anything other than the PVC pipe, the wall, which we took care of, but there was somebody from another neighborhood who inquired about it, who we spoke to. No, thank you. Is there any update on the South Creek design phase? I know there was some funding. Is there an update on that or any information?
The pavement design phase hasn't started. We're waiting still for Margate to finish the utility work. But I apologize, I don't have the date when it's scheduled. I actually think it's 27. But I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, because I know you guys were going to reach out to the residents and do a whole public thing, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean in Lakewood East?
No, just the South Creek design phase.
Okay, so the Lakewood East is moving. The Lakewood East design is moving forward.
Okay, and you were going to be, and
there is
some
communication
additional
going out directly to those residents.
And was there parking going to be added by the park?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so no additional parking.
No additional parking is added in the Lakewood East area at this time. We do reserve the right to do it if we need it.
Does the city have the ability to leverage sales tax in city stores and restaurants? Is there like a city sales tax or no?
We don't have a city sales tax right now.
I know we don't have one right now, but is there a law preventing us from doing something like that? Like, I don't know. Is that something that cities do? I just asked a question.
I can look into that question. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Just thinking outside the box. The upcoming Holocaust, outstanding work to everybody from Public Works to Bernadette to Sheila to Parks and Rec. Just super duper. It's really going to be very unique, and it actually is the only Holocaust memorial in Broward County. It will be the first, not a museum, not a reading room. It's an actual memorial, and it's the first in Broward. So it's it's just so special that we're a part of it. It's really unbelievable, and very excited for that. And then just leave it to Broward schools again. Can't get out of their own way with graduations. Having Coconut Creek High go to Dillard, and Monarch go to Dillard, and Dave Thomas and ATC go to Ely. They take one step forward and 87 steps back. It's just so upsetting to see that kids are suffering due to the malpractice of the district. And it's the kids who suffer, and it's the headlines of the staff, and it's the headlines of all these people, but it's school districts are about students. And it's just really sad to see the inequity in those graduation locations. I mean, I worked at Stoneman Douglas, I worked at Cypress Bay, I ran both those graduations when I was there. I know it's a lot of people, but it's just inequitable to do that to those schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, kudos to everyone involved with our Holocaust Memorial on January 29th. Amazing feedback and amazing participation. I mean, we were worried we weren't going to be able to fill the seats, but now we have to turn people away. It's amazing. Every day people are coming to me and saying, this is fabulous. Can I get in? Can I get in? Can we get another bus? I know Winmore themselves has 2 buses, and they're clamoring for more. It's just that we can't accommodate them, but meaning the cities. But thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, everybody involved. This is a great thing. Also looking forward to Tallahassee, our first experience. Have a a shopping list of things to talk about, and to hopefully we can get on the table and show our opposition. But also, I want to say I'm excited about Main Street. See the clearing. You can almost see it happening. I would love to have a groundbreaking ceremony to actually start the process.
I actually reached out to the development team about a groundbreaking ceremony, and their thought is, as soon as there is an area where we can actually park cars, a stabilized area.
Okay, great. Good. Super.
That they would love to schedule one, but they want to wait until they at least get an area, an area where you could host a groundbreaking. So it'll be a couple of months, but it's in the works.
Great. That's great. Very exciting. So thank you. Okay. That's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
Safe trip to those that are traveling, and stay safe. Have a great week or two. Do I have a motion? You did. Meeting adjourned.